Hi, y'all.
Hi.
What you doing? Having fun today? You enjoying your day? You enjoying your day?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Doing things.
Yeah.
Talking about stuff. We don't even know. Look, we got new cards. New cards. Insight from A Course in Miracles. Say hi to us. Say hi to us.
Say hi to us. Say hi to us.
We're going to do, you want to do Course in Miracles?
Yeah.
And if anybody's curious, Course in Miracles was written in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big old book. And when I first started learning from it, I used to...
Yay!
Carolyn!
It's Carolyn!
It's me, Carolyn!
1, 2, 3. You're healed.
You're healed. When I first started learning, it's a giant book. I think I've got it. It was right there. Here it is. Yeah, grab that. Yeah. The big book. And
big book.
What I used to do is I used to just sleep with it on my chest because I couldn't read a word of it at all. Every time I would go to start reading it, I would fall asleep. So,
back in the early days,
yeah.
I could only read a paragraph at a time, and then I'd have to reread it because it was so foreign.
Yeah.
To really comprehend it.
Yeah.
And it's not like that anymore.
Wild. I've been enjoying that particular.
I happen to enjoy that particular book. Oh, she gave us there's that. And then I happen to enjoy that particular book. So
yep,
Carolyn also enjoys this book. You've heard of this? You've heard of that.
You got that one. She did, I think, 365 days of course.
Carolyn is a course teacher.
Yes.
And an amazing one.
Yes, at that.
Hey, chess books are the coolest, says Kenny.
Yeah.
You ain't cool unless you have a chess book.
That's right.
And I've also slept with the book on me before. Should I be saying that?
Sure.
I guess I should.
It feels good. I don't know why. It's an interesting thing.
I've slept on it. It's been a while, but I have slept on it. I've been reading it, and then I just fall asleep with it like this. And then I've also been in bed and had it on my back like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's actually comforting.
There's
it's like
there's energetics and everything.
It's like Jesus is putting his arm around you.
Jesus. All right. Hi. I never thought of a chess book before, but I like it.
Any book that you like,
book that you like,
especially if it has some weight to it.
Yeah, it feels comforting.
Feels like someone's arms around you.
That's right. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Please put in the comments and say hello to me and Todd. And we got the Cliff's Notes card deck because this is pure speed right here. So we're just going to randomly pick a card. Yeah.
Sure.
Do you want to pick? You pick.
Insight from A Course in Miracles. God, being love, is also happiness. To fear him is to be afraid of joy. And it is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Eileen.
Hi, Eileen.
So this one to me, because I think when I was a kid, I grew up in the South and I was lucky enough to have a grandmother who would, I go to church and then on the way home, she'd explain church to me because I was like, that doesn't make sense. Some of the scripture I was reading stuff. And I was like, why would God do this or that or whatever? And she would help me understand vibration and energetics and stuff like that. She was a pioneer, going to channelings and all kinds of stuff, doing the IM discourses. And so she could interpret the Bible through vibrational energy instead of just saying, fear God. no, it's to fear God is to, like it said, be afraid of joy, and however you want to choose to see God is your choice. It's your understanding of that presence of positive, loving energy or force in your life. So we're using the word God here, just like Course does, but know that you can use whatever you choose. To fear Him is to be afraid of joy, because God, that energy is just joy.
Grandma Catherine was an amazing woman.
Yeah.
I mean, just unprecedented.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone in their late 80s, early 90s who has the same mindset that I did, because they had been teaching themselves this kind of stuff forever. I'm sure there's others, but she's a rare woman. She was a rare woman.
Yeah.
I mean, you could talk to her like she was your age. I mean,
yeah.
And
she followed it.
She can follow anything I would throw at her.
Yeah,
not that I would test her.
Right? No.
But she had the wisdom too.
Yeah.
And man, what an incredible woman! I wish we had more time with her.
Yeah, I know.
But she was an inspiration for sure. In fact, I dedicated my first book to her, the Acceptance Guidebook, available on Amazon.
We just republished it too.
We just republished
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Second edition.
Yeah, and it is the reflections of Course in Miracles in there too.
Yeah. It's a course book. Yeah. It's me understanding it through my own words and what I learned from it. Yeah, my reflections on the Course. It's a good bathroom book. You can that's what people have said. Yeah, because I parse out the content one section at a time here and there. So you could crack it open anywhere and just read whatever and it's fine.
Right.
But the other thing I liked about Grandma Catherine is that she thought for herself,
Yes.
And that's a mark of a spiritual person. I mean, in my opinion, because you have to question things for yourself, It doesn't matter what you believe. It just matters that you've integrated them,
Yeah.
You're not just borrowing it and rehashing it or spitting it back out without understanding and integrating and accepting it. But yeah, do whatever you believe, do the thing and understand it and know it and benefit from it.
Yeah. She was very controversial at her young age when she was in her early 20s. And she married my grandfather, whose father was the president of Virginia Union University, which was the all-black, one of the first all-black college in Virginia. And my grandfather's father was a pioneer in that regard. And so what was great about him was that when she came to him, her father-in-law, she said, I was standing on the steps and I said to him, and he was a minister too, I just feel like I need to learn this. I need to understand this vibrational energy. I need to learn this I am discourse. I need to understand what I am that I am really, really means in my life. And he said, and she tells the story and she says, go to it, daughter. That's what he said. Go to it, daughter, and you find your way.
Oh, that's so great that he said that.
I know.
I mean, that's even more unprecedented.
I know. Go to it, daughter, and find your way.
Back in what year was that? The 30s, 40s?
She was born in 20.
Right.
So yeah, it was been in the 40s. Yeah.
40s. When, that's a progressive man right there.
Yeah, I know.
To give that kind of blessing there. That's in that decade.
And that comes from someone who had seen the struggle of just so many people wanting to find their way and being held down and oppressed. And he was like, I'm not going to oppress her, as she's trying to seek her light. And so to me, that's the people I come from.
What a blessing.
And I'm so grateful that those are the people. Like, I don't know what just happened, but that is the best unscripted moment.
Yeah, we're honoring the roots.
Yeah.
From these wonderful people who've had a major influence on you. So
yeah, very lucky.
Yeah.
Who were your influences? Put in the comments. Tell me that person, that teacher, that friend, that someone who just said to you, go to it, daughter. who is that person for you? I want to see, tell me who they were. This is, and I haven't read it all the way, but the first words on this card were, love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my father, mother, goddess, God, whatever, gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. I would accept all that is mine in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts that are given to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth.
I love
you have
that.
anything to say on that?
Love is my heritage. Yeah. The thing that it brings up for me is that, we have hundreds of thousands, maybe more, of micro wounds, micro traumas, which have all, from interaction to interaction, that have caused us to develop our resistances to love, right? Fear, could be fear of rejection, could be resistance, or whatever it is. Just stuff over time causes us to have a harder shell until we choose to reverse that process by going inward, feeling the fear, releasing it, doing personal development, things like that, to remove that armor that we think protects us, but really it's keeping us isolated and separate. So I think in some regards, like Grandma Catherine broadcast love, right? She wasn't projecting her stuff because she took responsibility for a lot of that stuff. So at least when it came to her, you got a lot of positive reinforcement, right? So maybe instead of, hundreds of thousands of micro traumas, you got hundreds of thousands of messages of love. And you can imagine how that positively developed you and spiritually, in terms of, and I see that in you every day, actually, and the way you show up with everyone whose lives you touch, and that is 100,000 messages of love to know who you are, to study who you are, and to be who you are, and then to be able to extend who you are to other people. And you've done that for me, and vice versa, and everybody who we've helped. We've worked with thousands of people. And I think the mark of that integrative growth is that if you want to extend it outward, like you have, that people naturally see you as someone who to look up to, someone who can help them, someone who has, someone who can guide them if they feel drawn to you,
Yeah.
So good on you. And I think that's
good on you.
Good on you. So that's how love
is. If you spot it, you got it.
If you spot it, you got it. So that's how love is our heritage, right? So how have you felt love? Who has loved you in your life? And how many messages do you predominantly have gotten? I know Kenny has a wonderful, amazing mother, and she's just so accomplished and so sweet, supportive. Human. And just anytime he talks about her, it's always positive things. And she has obviously made a major influence on how amazing of a person Kenny is, and how loving and caring and supportive. I mean, Kenny's been my best friend for more than 20 years. Yeah. So it matters, and if we're lucky to have those influences, it's great to exploit them as much as we can.
Right. Suck the juice out of that goodness.
If you got loving things going on, then and ramp them up however you can, and obviously minimize the toxic things, because everything is either a expression of love or a cry for love. And I think we can heal ourselves by remembering that we are at choice at any given time.
Kenny says, back at both of you.
Back at both of you, man. Look at my cup, Kenny. Honor thy music.
Beautiful. Patricia says, hi, Patricia. Carolyn says, you two gave me the go, you got this. Carolyn's also saying, my sister and my partner has been that person for her that's been showing up to the people for her that have been showing up. Eileen's is my parents. Kira, thank you. Kira, Maya, Lori, yes, goddess warriors, woo! And let's see. Yep. And then we'll go. And then, yes, God bless Grandma Catherine. Thank you. Darling. Ginger, what did I miss? we are talking about some things. Oh, I posted about your awesome hand cream that you gifted me. It is healing all of my
Psoriasis.
Psoriasis. It's gross, but it's healing it. So I thank you. Thank you, Ginger.
Yeah,
check
Ginger.
her out, gingerparrot.com. Go get you some hand cream, girl.
Thank you so much, Ginger, because it's a lot better now than when it used to be, when she would reach out to touch me lovingly and I would go, "Huh!" But yes, it's very much wonderful now.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
No one likes to be scratched.
Gross.
I'm just kidding. It's never been.
All right, let's see. All right, so we are talking about, and Gingy, go ahead, put out there, tell me who's been that person for you in your life that has encouraged you and loved you and helped you just claim your sovereignty. Who is that person for you? That's kind of what you've missed so far. Light has come. You are healed. And we're going to look at this. We're doing ACIM insight cards. Light has come. You are healed and you can heal. The light has come. You are saved and you can save. You are at peace and you bring peace with you wherever you go. So
these are quotes right out of the course, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You are at peace and you bring peace wherever you go. And I think that is yes. Yes, we do.
You find peace when you extend peace.
That's right.
It's a good way to do that, to say that.
And in order for me to extend peace, I have to offer innocence.
Right.
That's one of the hardest things for me sometimes.
Whatever you want, start giving it and you'll get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And opposite of that, any projection of judgment, for example, is a self-projection. So whatever you want to strengthen, whatever you see in other people is what you're strengthening, according to course. So practice seeing good things, practice looking for the good things so that you can have the automatic benefit of feeling better about you. Right?
Yeah.
Who wants to feel crappier about themselves? Who wants to feel more fear or anger or pissed off or frustration, irritation, and judgment? It doesn't produce fruit, right? It just leads you into worse feelings down the emotional scale. So practice seeing good things. I'm even noticing it from our videos, doing these videos every day.
I know.
And the stuff that I started, I'm like, oh, look at that. My subconscious is producing more good things because I'm talking about these things.
Right.
Deliberately, I'm not on autopilot, just going into work mode. I'm deliberately making time to talk positive things. And then it comes back to me and produces fruit in the form of good feelings, thoughts, ideas, connecting conversations. It's great to be deliberate in that regard.
I mean, as much as we want to do this for you guys and just having connecting moments, the major benefit that I've been experiencing has just been syncing up with him, saying good things, just like he was saying, providing a loving space and environment for those people wanting to kind of walk into it, and just getting the motor running in a positive way instead of just getting to work, just like you're saying. So it's a very cool thing.
Yeah. Make it easy as possible to find your personal flow.
Yeah.
It doesn't take effort. It just takes kind of relaxing into whatever your flow is. For us, it's talking, it's speaking, or writing,
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Patricia is telling us that there are a number of people, her maternal grandma, parents at different times, a school nurse, a neighbor, two very special neighbors. Later on, Wayne Dyer is also, I'm a huge fan
guy
of Wayne Dyer. All of them are now combined in my husband. It's very humbling. I need a lot of help. Yeah. Yes, of course. We all do. I mean, I still need help. Ginger is saying, oh, you've encouraged me, Kira. Oh, Ginger, and you've encouraged me as well. So it's just such a reciprocal loving experience when you have people that are just good people in your life. And there was certainly a point in my life where I did not have good people, and I had to consciously make a choice to say, I want to be better. I need to be around people who are better than me. And once I started attracting people who are better than me, whether it's in mindset or, in self-talk or, how they showed up in their life or their stress levels, or, where they've released certain addictions or things just were not a priority. Negativity is not a priority. Once I started saying yes to them, then my whole life started changing, because we are like those 5 people that we surround ourselves with most. Let's see. She also said, Ginger said, few close friends and my mother and grandmother and my husband. There's something very special about your husband or your wife being that person that you could say is the person that loves you, encourages you, trusts you make good choices, who is always in your corner. That's a gift I don't think a lot of people get to experience sometimes. And so thank you for being
You're welcome.
Let's see. Eileen is asking about Todd's book, name of Todd's book, and it's called The Acceptance Guidebook by Todd Shafer. And let's see. Eileen says Louise Hay. Yes, absolutely. For me, with Louise, doing her book, Heal the Body or Heal Your Body, helped me to really, that was my first introduction to things like suggestions, like hypnotic suggestions, or positive affirmations and how they correspond with difficulties in the body. That's how she influenced me for sure. Bunny! Hi, Bunny! The animals in my life have been my greatest teachers. I love
they are.
Animals.
That they are.
They are. The babies. I love the babies.
They love us no matter what.
Mm-hmm. See, Ginger, it is a gift. Took 2 past husbands to find the right one. It's all good, girl.
Depends the charm.
That's right. Let's see. Unspiritual comment. Todd's book is badass.
It is badass. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you, Kenny. It's a nice introduction to Course in Miracles if you're interested in it and you don't want to read the course text is amazing, but it's also very dense and heavy, especially if you're brand new to it. So a book like mine helps you kind of get introduced to it in layman's terms. Yeah. And there are many other books like mine that help interpret and study course and like these cards and things like that.
Yeah. Ooh, this could be a good exercise for today, guys. Dwell not upon the past today. Keep a completely open mind. Washed
of all past ideas.
And clean of every concept you have made.
You've made.
Ooh. Can we break that down for a second?
Sure.
Dwell not upon the past day, because why? The past doesn't exist, right? It's just what we think about the past that exists. Keep a completely open mind, washed of all past ideas, and clean of every concept you have made.
So what the ego likes to do, the ego doesn't like the present moment, because that's where your power is. It's in recognizing and realizing I am that I am right here, right now. But what the ego would prefer to do is only have you focus, have anxiety about the past and anxiety about the future and fear of the past. So it likes to just skip over the present moment. It wants you to bring your past into the future and forget about the present. Just, so that it can keep up its charade, keep up its game, keep up the reincarnation process.
Yeah.
But yeah, be present, judge that. If you have an emotional reaction to something, don't project it. That's bringing your past back into your future, right? I think that's one way to interpret it. So instead of projecting, contain it, breathe through it, and say, oh, this is coming up for me. It's not happening to me. It's coming up for me for purification. And that's why, we have a lot of bumps and fills, things that happen externally, usually externally, that kind of piss us off or irritate us, and trigger us into feeling something. Well, that is a co-created gift that you're allowing for your purification, one tiny bit at a time. And the more you go, the less often it tends to happen, I think. But that won't happen in a weekend. It'll be years. It'll be years.
Yeah. The purification process. What's interesting to me, and this is relatively new thought exercise for me, is the purification process. Even though I've probably heard about it a million times, but for some reason my brain just didn't want to accept it or look at it. Is that everything, like you said, is happening for me. So if I find myself in a place that doesn't feel good and something comes up for me and it's like, but this seems like the same old thing, or I thought I worked through this, or I thought I did this already. How come it's coming up again? And it's sharpening us. It's turning base metal to silver. It's really honing in our that purification process, like you said. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to resist this thing that's coming up, even though, or think that I know what it is because it's happened to me in the past. Instead, I'm going to see, how can I look at this even better way, in a new way, in a different way, because it is all coming up to help me move beyond the experience that I've been experiencing. So I don't have to have this experience again. I don't have to do this, because there's plenty of things that I've looked at again with this newfound purification, where I'm like, oh, that doesn't bother me at all anymore. When before it would have wrecked me to pieces.
That's how you know you're moving forward. You're integrating, as if it's bothering you less than it used to.
And it might just be 5% less.
It might be. It is often small. It's not like gone completely. It's
an incremental process.
It is very incremental. Absolutely. And the whole, I'll comment and say, the whole, dang it, I did work on this. Why is this still happening? Why is it still here? That's the arrogance of the ego. That's the ego that likes to be right. We think,
well, I'm arrogant.
We think, oh yeah, oh no, none of you are more arrogant than me, I promise. Because it keeps getting revealed to me how much I have been. And now some of it is being an actual a-hole. We try not to be that way, and because that's being triggered, blah, blah, blah. But arrogance in the spiritual sense is, just thinking that just thinking that, I dealt with this before. Why am I dealing with it again? Well, you're not the authority on everything. It's you're not the authority on everything that you perceive. We think that we are, because we want to justify that separation from God, because we're afraid of God, we're afraid of heaven, afraid of love. But excuse me. But yes, humility is saying, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'm going to practice not having an opinion. I'm going to practice not judging, and as best as I possibly can. And whatever does come up for me, I know that it's coming up for me, and it's for me to breathe through. And it's an internal game. And if I spot it, I got it. If I see someone being mean out there, it's because I've been mean in the past. Right. It wouldn't have, there are so many things that are happening that you do not perceive because they're not a part of your vibration. So you don't even resonate with it, or it doesn't even attract into your life. And there are other things that do come into your life, or do frequently trigger you, or what have you. And it's just, I consider it God working with you to help untangle. It's your I am helping, working with you to untangle this purification process, one step at a time. At your level of comfort, guided by your spirit. Might be a little bit deep, but threw it out there anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. So I like that Patricia said, she said, I'm right there with you, Ginger, too, for me as well. As my husband says, he's not the third, he's the last. I like that.
That's good.
Good. That's a good way to reframe it. Ginger's saying, interesting.
Yeah, and this Ginger, all this stuff is from Course in Miracles that we're talking about today.
Yeah, and if you follow Marianne Williamson at any time, Wayne Dyer also did pulled a lot of information from Course. There's just
Marianne,
tons and tons of people out there who we have utilized their information that they were almost all of them were Course students.
Marianne Williamson's book from the 90s, A Return to Love, is a very good introduction to Course, and it was wildly popular. It's why she has a name. It's because of that book.
Yeah.
Very easy to follow, very good Course teacher, and puts it into layman's terms. So yeah, that's another good one to check out if you're interested in Course type stuff.
Without anxiety, the mind is wholly kind, is completely kind. Without anxiety, think about that. That's a good, I know there's a lot more content on here, but for some reason that sentence, because I struggled with anxiety for so long, that it's so true. When we're not actively in anxiety or in fear or in doubt or in pain, we're kind. We're very, very kind. I had someone say to me the other day, "You're not being compassionate." And I was like, and this is why, because I was empty. I was not in a place to be kind. I couldn't pull from the anxiety, fear, empty mind. I couldn't dig down in an empty well. And so if we're in an empty well, it's very difficult. So when you see someone in your life or in your experience who's not being kind, that's probably why they have something else splitting their mind and their attention, their awareness.
Yeah. If we feel guilty, when we feel guilty, we project guilt, and that can look like anything, anger.
Yeah. That book is also heavy for me, and due to losing my faith in the Catholic religion, I'm still searching. Yeah.
Ginger, I grew up Catholic, and I went to Catholic grade school, and there were some positives that have served me, and there are also some negatives that have not, as you probably also know. And I will say that there's definitely a lot of guilt conditioning. I'm not even sure I was aware of it most of the time. It wasn't like what my mom and dad faced. That was a lot more guilt projection that they were subjected to.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Right. Correct. Different generation, different standards.
Yeah.
By the time I got to school, it wasn't that way, but yeah, a lot of guilt conditioning, a lot of right and wrong and things like that. And I will say that throughout my spiritual pursuit, I was intuitively looking for a way to, unconsciously, I was looking for a way to resolve that stuff. And anybody who's been on a similar path knows that they intuitively know that they are trying to untangle and resolve something. Yeah.
Right.
And Course in Miracles and anything related to it has been exceptionally helpful, and for resolving some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I had the guilt of the 50s and 60s still, and a bad boy priest.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This is I do not consider Course religious.
No.
At all. It's a book about love. That's all it is.
Right.
That's all. And I guess you could take anything and beat somebody or yourself up with it. Yeah. You take any principle and do that. The thing about this pieces. Go ahead. You go.
That's the ego weaponizing the belief system.
Yeah.
So if you have, any belief system, any religion or spiritual beliefs or whatever can serve you if you're allowing it to purify you and integrate you. But if the ego can weaponize anything and then grab that book and beat people over the head,
Right.
thump them over the head with it. Then it's strengthening the ego. It's, the sense of separation or the sense of power and control. So it's really important, in my opinion, to understand how the ego is operating. And this book teaches that. And other teachings do teach that too. I don't think it's quite as emphasized as this one is, but do multiple things, do anything, and anything that works and gets you to unravel the things you need to unravel. I'm sure you all have a variety of tools in your tool chest that you go to at any given time, whether it's Course or Marian Williamson or Wayne Dyer or wherever you're in the mood for, or whatever you feel like you're needing in that time,
Yeah. I mean, it's, you just go look it on YouTube and just, put in some Wayne Dyer. Because honestly, it's all the same principles, just delivered in a different way. And and an easier way to digest and understand. Yeah. This book was channeled by an atheist back in the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's a different, sometimes we have to look at it in a bunch of different ways. But regardless, the main thing is today, just for today, be guiltless.
Be guiltless.
Be guiltless.
What does that mean?
To me, it means giving yourself an opportunity to allow yourself to feel good about any choice you've made, whether it was perceived as good or perceived as bad, or a choice that other people maybe would not have made. Just be guiltless today and play with that idea that you cannot do it wrong and you didn't do anything wrong and nothing is wrong. That every choice has brought you to this point in time, and release any of those old feelings that no longer serve you. That's what I think.
You said it all.
What does Bonnie say? Surprising how at times some of those old guilt patterns pop up when they do have started to step back and say, isn't that interesting?
Excellent, Bonnie. That's
Love
fantastic.
It. Well done, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ego doesn't consider itself.
Yeah.
And instead of reacting, you responded.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Darling?
Darling?
Look at what my ego is trying to do.
Look at you. Aren't you so cute?
Aren't you so cute?
Aren't you so darling? And then Ginger says, thank you. Maybe I should look at your book. You know what, honey? I will send you a copy. So I'll mail you a copy so you can take a look at it. Yeah. I'll get I think I have your address information, but I'll get it from you in a little bit. All right. Let's see. See, we just give gifts on some Unscripted. Is there anything else we would like to share with our friends here before we sign off?
We could probably devote a whole episode to this, but yeah. I will say the presence process came up for me to mention. Mm-hmm. And the presence process is another book by Michael Brown. Easy to remember, easy to spell. It's on Amazon. And that book has been, besides Course in Miracles, that book has been one of the most transformational books for me. Mm-hmm. And it teaches you how to breathe. How to breathe. It's like a 10-week breathing program. It's very easy. We each have done it 3 times now, and it has helped integrate some incredible stuff. I mean, stuff that I wouldn't have never thought. I wasn't even sure if it was gonna integrate, and one of the immediate benefits as you get into it is it helps you to feel what you have to feel that you haven't integrated, that you haven't forgiven or given unconditional love to. Yeah, so many things that are taught are kind of mental concepts alone. That's important to an extent, but the forgiveness process also entails breathing through, which is whatever's coming up, which is a form of allowing, which is unconditional love given to the self. And when it's guided, it can be very helpful. Now, the benefits of breathing and meditation. If you are a fan of any of that at all, definitely do the presence process. You can get the book on Amazon, and
we got it on Audible.
It's also on Audible.
Yeah, for me, I needed it on Audible because I kind of space out and just let the information wash over. But it's mainly it's a very disciplined practice, but it's the easiest practice you'll ever do. You know, in a way.
Yeah, right. And a good point. You don't have to understand everything perfectly, cognitively, mentally in course or in the presence process for it to benefit you. Okay, because you're getting it without necessarily believing that you're comprehending it that well. So every time you expose yourself to the material, you are receiving it. You are up-leveling your consciousness. Your mind can read words on a page faster than you can say them to yourself.
Yeah.
So, we're not really the authority about what we can all do. We were capable of a lot more. So in other words, be easy and gentle on yourself when you're digesting any of this content. Don't say, well, I didn't understand any of that, I'm putting this down. No, that's okay. There was a benefit to you having picked it up.
Right.
Right.
And there's still, like, we did 3 rounds, 11 weeks each. And 3 weeks and
10 weeks,
10 weeks, and then 3-week break in between.
Yeah.
And there were still things that I was hearing that I missed.
Yeah.
So, and I think to me, it's one of those things, like, just like with Course in Miracles, where I would read a sentence and I would just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Now, after doing that enough times, and I've listened to it and I've heard people explain it, our friend Janelle, she did a group. I could understand it better. Carolyn has been an influence in that to help me decipher things. So when we first are introduced to anything, and we listen to it again, our mind starts. I remember when I first started listening to Abraham, and I was like, I don't understand a word this lady's saying.
And then after a while, what happened?
Now I can almost do it, because I would just allow myself to be washed in it instead of going, I have to understand this. I have to figure it out. I have to pick it up. Instead, I'm like, okay, what is the most unconditionally loving thing I can do for myself right now? And that is accept myself exactly where I am in this learning. And as I'm talking about learning, let's go ahead and tell you about hypnotherapy school.
I was going to think of a funny way to do that too.
Segue.
You know what course and presence process reminds me of? Hypnotherapy certifications. Yeah. No. I was going to add when you're picking up course, be gentle. Don't let the ego come in and say, okay, we got to learn this entire thing. That'll happen. It's taken over a decade for me to really get course and to want to do it. And it's not for ego purposes. It's not to say, I do course. It's to say, it's to purify the self and to get to peace, right? It says it right in the beginning of the book that this is a foundation for inner peace, right? And it comes from looking what is false in you and integrating that, the fear-based stuff. And then what's loving about you naturally shines through as a result, and lots of good books like Course or are based on Course are meant to do that, to help you get back to love and things like that. Yeah. I will also say, if you're picking up any book, especially Course, anything that stands out to you, take a note with a journal, like a notebook or something, and just let yourself marinate on that one line if you want to, and just, ponder it. If it stands out to you, don't force yourself to have to go further into the book. If you feel a natural pause to stop and marinate on something, let yourself do that. That is you doing the course, right? Mm-hmm. It's not about how well you comprehend or understand. It's about you taking what works for you and chewing on it, right? They say in the course book itself, it's not about, the course isn't the words. The course is in between the lines, they say. The course isn't a book. The curriculum goes beyond the book. Right,
because we have our own filters, our own awarenesses and understandings of things and where we are right now. And I know that where I was when I started this process was like, well, I'm not anywhere near being able to love myself as unconditionally. Yeah. But through working through it and seeing where my false beliefs were becoming real for me, and I had made them real, I was able to start to unwind a lot of that stuff. So yeah. And I don't know why we kind of went down this road of you need to learn the course.
No,
we're not saying any of that.
There's no you need. No.
Yeah, no. You do what feels right to you. We just wanted. We were just.
It's
I was like, I got a new.
It's unscripted.
Card deck. That's it.
Yeah.
And so these principles can be applied to any part of our experience in our life. So you do what you want to do. Let's stay guiltless today. Let's stay clean and clear and know that we are moving in the direction that's best for us, even if we don't quite know what's in front of us, or things feel a little bit cloudy. Know that that the right thing's coming your way.
I always say, take whatever feels right and appropriate for you and run with it. And whatever doesn't feel appropriate, forget about it. Not important right now.
Yeah. So thanks for book suggestions. Definitely making a list, said Bonnie. Eileen, thank you. Vitamin K and T, much love. Great resources. And then Gingy, you made me pull the book back out. Okay, that's great. That's great. And we hope that you find all of the unconditional love and goodness in it as possible. We're here for you. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and end it. I appreciate you. Love you all. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
And Hypnotherapy School.
Oh, yeah. Hypnotherapy School. Go out to hypnotherapyschool.net. We'd love for you to enroll in our program. We are running a 20% special right now, 20% discount special right now. And our enrollment closes on December 1st. So we want to get you in, get you trained up so that you can start helping your clients and build your business as a holistic practitioner. Booyah!
Rock on, y'all. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye, Carolyn. Love you. Bye, Gingy. Bye, Eileen. Bye, Bonnie. Bye, Patricia. Bye, Kenny Jaworski. Bye, let's see if we got everybody. Patricia, Carolyn. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.